Hello, this is Niswander. Welcome to the NOWMAN show. I am here with LindsayBlake. She's the founder of IamNotAstalker.com website, which she dubs as your definitive source for filming locations. She's also a contributing editor to Discover Los Angeles and also Los Angeles Magazine, correct?
Yep.
So, LindsayBlake, welcome to the NOWMAN show.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah. Now, tell us a little bit about your website.
So I write about filming locations, and I started it in November of 2007. So a ways back now, and I cover filming locations mainly in Los Angeles, but when I go on vacation to Hawaii or New York, I will write about those locations too.
And there are film locations there in Hawaii too.
Yep.
I've been to some of them.
Yep.
So, what motivated you or inspired you to come up with that name, I Am Not a Stalker? That's hilarious.
My friends were always calling me a stalker for seeking out filming locations, and I guess the methodology of how I go about it, which is searching Google imagery and Google Maps, and I'm pretty fixated on it when I'm searching for these locations, so people just kept telling me I was a stalker, so I went with it.
Wow. So when people think of film locations, they usually, they don't realize sometimes that it's movies, it's television, it's even music videos.
Commercials,
everything. So when did you first get interested in finding locations?
When I was little, I grew up in San Francisco, so I felt really far removed from Hollywood, but I was always obsessed with the movie industry and behind the scenes. And my parents would take me to the movies every weekend, and my mom would make us sit through the end of the credits to see where, sometimes back in the day, it's not so much anymore, a line would come up, this movie was filmed on location in Los Angeles or Hawaii, and so she would always want to see where something was filmed, and it drove my dad nuts, because it's always the last thing that comes up.
Right.
So it was kind of ingrained in me. I'd always think about locations, but I didn't really get into filming locations until we moved to Los Angeles in 2000, and I would notice the yellow signs that are posted all over the place, and
which are still posted all over the place.
Yeah, and I would follow them because I was so fascinated with filming and movie stars in Hollywood, and I would start watching these things be filmed right in my own backyard, and that's when I really, really got into searching for locations.
So why a website?
Whenever people would come to town and visit, all my San Francisco friends, I would take them on tours of locations throughout Hollywood and Pasadena, and they would always tell, like, most of them could care less about these locations, but I was so passionate about it that they told me I either needed to start a tour company or a website, and so I went with the website route.
That was your preference.
Yeah.
To not really be a tour guide.
Yeah, I think that'd be really tough. So.
Well, let's look at a few locations,
okay.
Shall we?
Yeah,
okay.
Let's do it.
What is it we're looking at right now?
So this is Andy's Coffee Shop in Pasadena, and it's on Colorado Boulevard, and it's been there since the 30s, actually.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I never knew of its existence till I live in Palm Springs now, and I have for 3 years, and I only just discovered this, which is shocking because it's kind of a Pasadena staple.
Yeah, exactly. It's funny, I've lived here a while too, and I didn't know about this place, but I do have this visual in my head. I remember seeing the outside.
Yes, when I first looked at Google Maps and saw that outside, I was like, I know I've driven past there, and I don't know why I never went in.
Yeah.
So we just went recently. It's really good.
Is it really?
Really
Excellent.
good, yeah, and the owner's so friendly.
And it's so perfect for a film location.
Right?
What was shot in there?
A bunch of stuff. A season 4 episode of Mad Men was shot in there.
Cool.
It's with the actresses who are fighting over the sugar-baked ham, that episode.
Well, you really are a fanatic for, yeah.
Anna Kendrick's Cups music video was filmed in there, and they even used the back kitchen.
What are we looking at here?
This is a Father of the Bride house.
Oh, cool.
Probably one of Pasadena's most famous filming locations.
You know, someone who I met by the name of Cindy Williams, actually, who's an actress.
The sister of
she played in Laverne and Shirley.
Oh!
She was the one that came up with the idea to Steve Martin.
You're kidding.
She's the one. If you look at the packaging, she's the she is credited as an executive producer.
That's so exciting. It was such a great movie.
That's a personal story she told me.
That's so cool.
So that's the house.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's right on El Molino.
Molino.
It hasn't been touched. I mean,
Wow.
that
It looks exactly the same
right.
as it did.
The white
Wow.
picket fence,
Wow.
everything.
Wow.
Yeah, it's so beautiful. And the Mad Men house, Don Draper's house, is like right across the street. on Arden, which butts into El Molino.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a show I still need to check out.
I've never seen it either.
I'd love to watch it sometime.
Yeah.
It's been recommended to me. What else do we have?
The Gamble House.
This is probably one of the most famous locations in Pasadena right here.
Right. It's famous architecturally, for one thing, because it's the Green and Green brothers who designed it. But Doc Brown's house from Back to the Future.
Yeah, we all remember that, like the front door, and
and the garage where his workshop was.
Yes,
just
exactly.
Next door, yeah.
All of that's right there.
And only the outside was actually used in Back to the Future. The inside is another Green and Green house called the Blacker House, and it's also in Pasadena.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and that's privately owned. But the Gamble House you can actually go in because it's a museum.
That's fantastic. It's over by the Rose Bowl, right?
Yeah,
In that
on
area
Westmoreland. Have you been in it?
I've not been in it.
Because you love Back to the Future, right?
Well, I like that movie a lot. Yeah.
You should go. It's a great tour. You can't take any pictures, unfortunately.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Wow.
that's the bad part. But it's really neat to see the inside of it.
There were no internal shots.
No, because the Gamble House, they're really careful about letting people in and a film crew. It's such a major production with the cameras, and they're on wheels, and they didn't want anything potentially destroyed, so they wouldn't let them film in it. So
cool.
They went to another really similar looking house.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
You know, what is it we're looking at here now?
That's Occidental College in Eagle Rock, and that was used as CU, California University, on Beverly Hills 90210, and as Bronson Alcott High School on Clueless, the movie Clueless. So.
Clueless. I didn't see that movie. No, I didn't see that.
That's one of my favorite movies ever.
Wow.
I feel like you need to go home tonight and rent that movie. It's streaming on Netflix.
Oh, is it really?
And it's not just a girls' movie. I recommended it to a guy recently, and he was like, I don't know why you never watched this. It's so good. Such a great movie.
And what is this we're looking at here?
That's also part of Occidental.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. Clueless used pretty much every square inch of that place. And they also used Grant High School in Van Nuys.
Wow.
But that was only for the classroom and a hallway scene. And everything else, the tennis courts, even Josh's girlfriend's dorm, which wasn't supposed to be a part of the high school, that can be found on the Occidental campus.
Look at that. For people that are fans of Michael Jackson, what is this?
The Thriller house.
Wow.
The house he runs up into.
Does it still look like that?
Yeah, this is a pretty recent picture. It's been under renovation since I moved to LA in 2000. I mean, I visited it that year and it looked like that. So, yeah, it's still very much a haunted looking house.
Did they shoot the internal, that was in a
That was all on a
soundstage?
soundstage, so it was only the exterior. Wow. But you see him, he runs up the steps and she runs up scared of the zombie Michael, and then he follows her with all the zombies.
That's fantastic. And what is this?
This is where they filmed the zombie dance in Thriller.
Wow. That's fantastic.
Yeah. And
you can still go there today and see. And isn't the side of the wall there still visible in the video?
It's exactly the same. I mean, nothing has changed. It's frozen in time. It's so exciting.
In Boyle Heights, right?
Yeah.
Wow, cool.
It's just in kind of like an industrial warehouse area. And when I went, I was, of course, recreating
of course. Who wouldn't
How
do that,
can you
right?
not? And all the workers, they had no clue that they're somewhere historic.
Wow,
and they're looking at
hilarious.
us like, what are you doing?
Wow.
It's like Thriller was shot here.
Wow.
Yeah.
And this?
This is probably my favorite location ever. That's the Walsh House from Beverly Hills 90210 in Altadena.
So Beverly Hills 90210 was your favorite show?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I mean, absolutely obsessed with it.
And so this is you.
That's me in front of the house.
The Walsh House.
Yep.
They were the twins, right?
Yeah, Brandon and Brenda Walsh. Yeah. And actually, the real life twins lived there.
Oh,
they're
really?
grown now, but
wow.
because the same man still owns it that owned it when 90210 was filmed. But
interesting.
So when the location scout went, he was really interested in the fact that twins in high school at the time lived there, and also they kind of modeled the set after the house because the shared bathrooms that Brandon and Brenda had, that's how the real house looks.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
So you're looking at locations right now, right?
Yeah.
You did that
all day today and yesterday.
Oh, wow.
We've been out here.
Let us in on anything you found, or
you
have to wait to see that on your website?
No. We spent a couple of hours today at the Hyatt in Century City because it's closing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's closing March 1st. So I mean, if you want to see it, you better get out there. Yeah, and they're gutting it. I mean, I don't even
really?
know really what's going to be left of the original, but it's such a historic property, and so much has been filmed there. Modern Family, the famous escalator scene when Claire's wearing a jacket and she's naked underneath and the jacket gets stuck in the escalator, that was there.
Oh, wow.
And The Ugly Truth was filmed there. So much has been filmed there, and every president since, I think Ford has stayed there during their presidency, and it's just such a historic building, and it's going to be completely gutted. The back of it, the pool area is going to just be gone, and they're building 2 towers there, and then it's mostly going to be condos. Wow. There are going to be some hotel floors, but it's mostly just going to be for private living.
Wow.
So we were running around there all day today taking pictures of the
you
ballroom.
really keep up on what changes are going on out there. Wow.
Yeah,
Well,
I
that's
try to be
fantastic.
on top of LA stuff.
So what's next?
Well, right now, my location friends and I were really on the hunt for the empty nest house. That's one of the things we're trying to track down, and I was really hoping we'd find it before I came out this weekend so that I could photograph it, but we haven't as yet found it. So I don't know if you're familiar with that show, but that's our latest hunt.
I've heard of it. Well, thank you so much, LindsayBlake.
Thank
for
you
being
for
on
having
the
me.
NOWMAN show. So LindsayBlake from IamNotAstalker.com. Hello, this is Niswander, and I'm here at the Armory Center for the Arts in Pasadena with John Malpede, who is the artistic director and founder of the Los Angeles Poverty Department. And John, thank you for being on the NOWMAN show.
Thanks for coming over.
My pleasure. Now, for those who may not know the other LAPD, which stands for the Los Angeles Poverty Department, what is that all about, and how did that start?
Well, it's a arts group based in Skid Row, Los Angeles. Started as a performance group. We still are primarily a performance group, but we do other kinds of stuff. As you can see here, we have different kinds of installations and stuff like that. But basically, it was the original goals were to make community on Skid Row and get the real deal about Skid Row out to Normalville, and those are still some of the goals. Yeah. So it's basically it's open to anybody who lives in the Skid Row community, which is a community. And in fact, it's a really special community because in many other places, low-income neighborhoods near the center of the city have been obliterated and displaced. And Skid Row, due to some zoning decisions that were made in the 70s, has been preserved. The low-income housing in that neighborhood was preserved, and you can build anything higher income. And for that reason, people have remained in the neighborhood, and they do things that improve the neighborhood. So it gets a lot of that's the hidden story, really, because it's also largely because so many bazillion dollars could be made by displacing the community. It's there's publicity campaigns to tar and feather the neighborhood.
And to also show the rich diversity of people that have been there for years and years and still live there, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. And, it's a place where a lot of people who live and work in the community have done and do things to solve really difficult problems, and they really have skills that other people maybe don't have, which includes how to work constructively with a hugely diverse set of people. And I know you came to our parade that happens every 2 years, so you know that people came up with ideas that were transformative around a lot of seemingly intractable social problems, like people who started who started the Downtown Women's Center or the LAMP community, which is the first day center for homeless mentally ill people in Skid Row, and other kinds of things that are really beacons of what the kind of things that can be done to solve problems.
And what a wonderful, brilliant idea to do something like that, to raise awareness of what actually is going on and what can be done. I think it's outstanding. I think your work is commendable, and people should definitely check it out and understand more of what's going on. There's this exhibit here that's running in Pasadena right now at the Armory Center for the Arts, really goes into a lot of detail about what your group has done and what other groups connected to LAPD has done. Tell us a little bit about, we were talking moments before about this project that you worked on in Kentucky.
Oh yeah, that was called RFK and EKY, and it recreated Robert Kennedy's visit to Eastern Kentucky to look at Appalachian poverty in 1968, and recreated it with an all local cast of. He covered 200 miles and 10 towns or hamlets or sites in 2 days, and we did the same circuit, and even added a couple of extra days of installations and conversations. Like I said, a couple hundred people were involved in it, including our Jack Faust played Robert Kennedy, and as he first said when we saw him, he said, "Well, actually, I look more like Teddy Kennedy than like Robert Kennedy," which was absolutely true. But it wasn't about it wasn't the idea of making it look exactly that way. In fact, we really tried to make it have both moments present at the same time, because it was about reflecting on that moment in time and the current moment, which was 2004, and to see what issues, social issues, had been solved, what were still present, and to have those two moments in interaction with one another. And it was an enormously fruitful way to have a community-wide conversation, and because it held a very special place in the memory of people in Eastern Kentucky. People who normally maybe were on different sides of different issues all got involved in it, and it was turned out to be an extraordinary project.
And it's remarkable footage that you have from that period of time where it shows the schoolhouse, and then you can see that the schoolhouse looks relatively the same now, and some of those children actually participated in the event in 2004. Just remarkable. I mean, what a beautiful story.
Yeah, the schoolhouse, actually, we had to put it back together pretty much. It was abandoned, but we knew the teacher, and we knew some of the kids, and we knew the cook. And I mean, as I went around talking to people, that was the beauty of the project. I just went around talking to people, and so eventually we knew everybody, and we were able to put it, and we ended up getting this footage from inside the schoolhouse that was shot by one of the news media at the time. And so we were able to reconstruct the school and have and tell that story inside the school when it looked relatively the way it did at that time, with all those people present. So the kids who were growing up with their kids, the mother who was now the grandmother, the teacher who was now much older, and the cook were all there and talked, as well as two of Kennedy's aides.
Wow, two of Kennedy's aides were actually there too.
Yeah, they were the guys who put it together, and Peter Edelman actually, and he. Kennedy's tour was put together as the centerpieces were two field hearings about poverty, and he brought local activists on to testify, and then that, because it was official field hearing, it got back to Congress. So in a way, what we're doing to get out of Kentucky and back to the Armory, what we're doing next in the next space over here, which is an installation that you can see if you come to the Armory, but we're going to perform on it this weekend as we did last weekend. It's a recreation of a hearing from a zoning hearing from downtown Los Angeles, where people in the community resisted a gentrification project that would have encroached on the neighborhood and was sort of being pushed on the Skid Row neighborhood, which is really the biggest recovery community anywhere. It was an alcohol serving restaurant that was being pushed on the community in order basically to chip away at the borders of Skid Row and access more of access Main Street, annex it from Skid Row and make it part of a upscale downtown. So the neighborhood organized Kevin Michael, who you're going to talk to, and some other people, General Jeff, who's going to be here to see the show on Saturday. On Sunday, they organized the community. We all went over, testified, and we were able to defeat. They appealed the hearing, and we won that hearing, and they were denied a full liquor license. So that's what the show is about, and it's related to the sort of civic activation that Kennedy was doing when he got people who were living in poverty and who were organizing around their own needs to testify and have their voices heard.
That's fantastic. Like I said, this is incredible work, and there's a lot of artwork over here on the wall from the Walk the Talk parade that you talked about momentarily. Now, that's coming up Memorial Day in Skid Row, right?
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that. It's actually on the Saturday of Memorial Day weekend, so it's the 28th of May. And yeah, it's enormous fun. There's a brass band, as you know. There's an artist who does portraits of people who have been nominated by the community for the work that they do, and we go around the community and make performances about them in front of the spot associated with them.
And what's a website where people can get more information about all of this that you do?
Well, the easiest way is just to Google Los Angeles Poverty Department, but the name of the website is lapovertydept.org.
Thank you so much, John. This is Niswander on the NOWMAN Show with John Malpede here at the Armory Center for the Arts in Pasadena. Hello, this is NOWMAN, and I'm back, of course. The 38th annual DooDah Parade here in Pasadena. This is my 7th appearance. And we're going to do the usual. We're going to walk around, schmooze, kind of look around, and then do the parade. So let's do it right now. So you've taken...
We've been in all these states.
You've been in all those states. Oh, with this vehicle. Yep. That's awesome. Wow. Hi. Hi, sweet thing. I am NOWMAN. So all that exists is right now. The Great Firewall of China. Democracy now! Democracy now!
Right now! Free the human rights lawyers in China right now!
All right. Woo-hoo-hoo! Shall we make a toast? I need some bread. Red Hots. You have Red Hots, right? All right. Thank you, sir. Thanks. Come on, get happy.
How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Fantastic. At the DooDah. Woohoo!
That's right. In the now.
In the now, in the moment, in the right now.
That's right. Pilates of Pasadena. Relax your mind, challenge your body.
Thank you. We got balls.
That's right.
Ladies with balls.
Ladies with balls. That's great. Yes, indeed. The billionaires on the NOWMAN Show. No, TPP. Bernie says make the corporations pay their fair share of taxes, end corporate welfare. Yeah. America belongs to all of us. Yes. All right. Citizens United must be repealed. Yes. Single payer. Now. The Highland Park Thursday evening Gentlemen's Society Circuit Bending Marching Band and Ladies Auxiliary. That's going to be the longest title for an act here at the DooDah Parade ever. What is it for short?
Heptexkabumbla. It's much easier that way.
Okay, thank you very much.
I'm Nancy Deegan, and this is my miniature horse, Cherry's Jubilee. Cherry is also a therapy horse, and she does over 30 different tricks. And she's going to be on a TV show called Little Big Shots in January. And she's going to be in a movie called The Dog and Pony Show, where she co-stars with the dog.
Really? Very cool.
She can kick the ball with her hind feet, carry the ball in her mouth, jump over a jump, and go dunk it through the basketball hoop. She's pretty amazing.
Wow, that is amazing. Maybe she should come in the studio and be on the NOWMAN Show.
I think she should.
Yeah, that would be great. And what's Cherry's Jubilee, right?
Yes, Cherry's Jubilee, but we just call her Cherry. We like to keep it simple. Her website is facebook.com/mylittlehorsecherry.
That's great. Thank you very much. Thank you, Cherry. I love you. Woohoo! Yay! Thank you. Oh, is there really a comedy show in here?
Yeah, it's a mobile comedy.
Oh, wow, that is very cool. What? When does the show happen?
You can go anywhere
Oh, that's awesome. That's great. That's fantastic. A comedy show that you can have in a bus. That is so awesome. Here comes the wonderful roller derby girls. Hello, girls. Woohoo! Right.
The queen, bro.
Yes, yes. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. All right. Good to see you. It's Count Smokula and Swami from El Monte over here. Hey, this is Howdy Krishna on the NOWMAN Show.
Howdy to you.
Yeah, and Oklahoma's gonna go all the way. Yeah. In the 25th year of Americans with Disabilities Act. That is awesome. And you know, all of this wouldn't have happened had it not been for over 100 bills in the 1930s and 40s that we now call the New Deal. And we do like the New Deal. World champion whistler Carol Ann Kaufman, the whistling diva. How are you? Good to see you. How are you?
I'm fabulous. We're whistling for all the world today here in Pasadena.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Excellent. It's great to be here. Yes, yes.
Whistle with me.
Right on.
Yes, good to see you. It's the Mystery Lady. How are you? And now here's a guy that has been in the DooDah parade for 25 years now. Signor Gracho. Viva DooDah! All right, this is NOWMAN. I am here with Alan Hartunian, right?
Right, Alan Hartunian.
Yes, how are you, Alan?
Thank you very much, and you?
Fantastic, right now. So what brought you out to the DooDah parade today?
Your invitation.
So what did you think?
It's wonderful. It's my first time that I am here, and I'm very happy. It's something different and new for me.
That's fantastic. Yeah. So tell all your friends, and be sure to check out the NOWMAN show.
Sure, I will do that. Thank you very much.
My pleasure. This is NOWMAN with Alan Hartunian in Pasadena at the DooDah Parade 2015.